Now, moving on, what you need to know about Black Friday. So this is obviously quite a timely subject for us to talk about, Black Friday being this week. And there's always a lot of good deals or a lot of big discounts on our Black Friday sales, on the Black Friday sales that we see around the web and in stores. And obviously it's a bit different this year, but it's still important for us to maybe have a little bit of a chat about what's available and some of the pitfalls that we can avoid as well. So maybe we can just talk. We've got our whole panel on here for this section, so maybe we can just have a bit of a chat about what Black Friday actually is. First of all, if you hear people always talking about Black Friday, somebody want to just give us maybe just a bit of a description of Black Friday?
Yeah, I suppose, Jude, Black Friday is kind of like a bit akin to like our, New Year's sales and that there. So it started in America roughly around the 1950s. The Friday after Thanksgiving kind of was like their rundown to Christmas and, sales and shops and people, selling off stock, etc. And because we have so many American companies like Amazon over here now, they introduced their sales for Black Friday to this part of the world too. So because people were purchasing from the likes of like Amazon or other sort of American-based sites or shops, actually, the rest of the shops in Ireland and the UK would have started moving their deals to that Friday to compete with them.
Yeah, I have to say it's one of those sort of terms that I've heard a bit more in recent years, and I kind of was surprised to find out actually it's been there for decades in the States.
Yeah, I think the term Black Friday comes from a few different ideas. Like I think I know you were telling me that it was like the shops going from red into black.
That was one of the explanations. Yeah.
And then another one I was reading was because the streets had so many people in them and the roads are so busy, it was nearly like the traffic cops were calling it Black Friday in terms of density of traffic and people on the streets during that time. So which one is true, or maybe it's an amalgamation of them all, but it's an interesting term.
There was quite an interesting one I saw as well, because I'd heard that same thing about the day when traditionally it's supposed to be the day when the kind of businesses go from basically go into profit, go from the red to the black. So they kind of wanted to label that with Black Friday, as you mentioned there. But I saw another interesting one as well, which was just talking about it said, now of course you never know what, when you read something on a website, you never know exactly how much credence to give it. It says the true story of Black Friday is darker. The term Black Friday was first used on September 24th, 1869, when two investors, Jay Gould and Jim Fisk, drove up the price of gold and caused a crash that day. The stock market dropped 20% and foreign trade stopped. Farmers suffered a 50% dip in wheat and corn harvest value. So going back to 1869 is what they're claiming there. But it's kind of interesting just to hear the kind of background of some of these terms that are used, because we associate it with something so different these days.
Absolutely.
So it's just interesting to hear where it came from. It is sort of a bit newer, really, though, in Ireland, isn't it? I think it's only maybe the last 5 or 6 years that we would have really started to use that term properly.
Yes, especially like we're saying with like, American shops opening over here or using their sort of sales models that, they were selling their stock at a reduced rate on the run down to Christmas. Yeah, I think they call it Christmas creep. Christmas creeps further back into the year every year. Yeah. So obviously in America they had started that well before us, but now you get Christmas creep here. So all the shops are looking to either move last year's stock or set or just or to have a promotion on a certain stock, and it's a great time of year to do it on the run down to Christmas.
Yeah, absolutely. And just keeping with this kind of tradition of naming sales, the Black Friday sale, Cyber Monday always kind of goes hand in hand with Black Friday. What's the difference with Cyber Monday?
Well, the idea of Cyber Monday was that Black Friday, it's around since the 50s, so obviously no internet back then. It was in-shop promotions. So like for shops that don't have storefronts, like with the likes of Amazon and that there, like they were sort of, and other websites, they were pushing to more a Cyber Monday thing. So they'd have their own kind of marketplace of like, well, you can't make it to a shop or we don't have a shop, here's a Cyber Monday deal.
Yeah.
So it became more of an online presence. Now I know they've kind of Cyber Monday and Black Friday sort of cross over, and they're more or less the same thing now, because it's not as if most shops would have an online presence as well as having a storefront. So
yeah.
they
And
don't.
particularly this year, it's almost like every day is Cyber Monday this year, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
During lockdown.
And I think like the extended to like a Black Friday week coming up to Black Friday, there's a Black Friday week after Black Friday, then you've Cyber Monday deals starting. So there is, it's constant pushes. Like, so that's, I know we're going to get into, like it's not always a good thing to be rushing out and buying everything in the sale. And like, I know we're going to that further now in our discussion.
Yeah, and that is a good point to make as well. It's not something that people need to hang around for this Friday to be able to get the best deals, because they spread it out quite a bit in the weeks coming up to it, particularly the week of Black Friday now. So there's some good sale items out there at the moment. Realistically, we're basically talking about, just before we go on to some of these tips, and we might kind of ask JP to come on in a second to talk us through some tips for successful Black Friday shopping. But basically, we're talking about a sale like any other in some ways, aren't we?
Yeah, it is more or less like a sale, like any others. Like there's advantages and there's pitfalls to that.
Yeah.
So do you need the product? Is it a saving? Is the shop just trying to get rid of last year's inventory? And that's not always a bad thing, because last year's inventory can still be quite good.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's always a trade-up of like, how much are you saving? Do you need this? Are you buying something that's useful? Are you buying last year's technology, which isn't future-proofed anymore? Or there's a lot to take in. I know we're kind of going to go into that now.
Yeah, absolutely. And so sort of approach it like you would any other sale. So let's have a think about some of the sort of specific tips that can help you if you're wanting to buy something through the Black Friday sale. You don't want to spend more than you need to. You want to make sure that it's actually a good deal that you're buying. What sort of tips are out there? Well, let's chat to JP. Any tips you can give us?
Yeah, that's right, Jude. So we can offer a few tips for anyone who will be shopping online this week in the Black Friday sales, and of course Cyber Monday too. First one we'll offer is for anyone who has a particular product in mind, is to just try and shop around different websites, just to make sure that the sale price that you're looking at can actually be considered, say, a good deal. And of course, there are like lots of really good deals on Black Friday this week, but the last thing we want to happen is to find ourselves taken in by a certain deal that may not be considered quite as good as it should be. So just to expand on this a little bit, to give you an example, I know there have been reports, some retailers, they may set the price a little bit higher, maybe 2 or 3 weeks prior to Black Friday, and then they reduce them during the week of Black Friday. This can happen. We don't want to get caught out. It doesn't happen all the time, but again, we just don't want to be caught out by, as I say, seemingly a good deal that might not be what it stacks up to be. So really, the advice we'd offer here is just to try and just kind of cross-reference different websites. So if you have a particular product in mind, a TV or a laptop or whatever it might be, a smart speaker, maybe just don't necessarily go with the first website you see that you come across, but just have a look, explore the different options. And to give you an example on this, I was looking at a few different websites this morning at the Amazon Echo .4th generation. So I came across one website where it was priced at €32.60, and then another one where it was on sale, Black Friday sale, at €69.50. So definitely pays to shop around. Another.
What was that device that you just mentioned?
That was the Amazon Echo .4th generation, Jude.
Yeah, it's interesting. I just saw a similar thing. I saw the Google Nest Mini on a couple of different websites, and it's interesting if you were to shop by, for example, percentage discount. I saw one that was originally 65, gone down to, I think, 27, which is actually a good deal in its own right. But another one was actually cheaper in the first place at €60 and went down to €30. Which is a 50% discount, but actually the other one looked like a much bigger discount because it was coming from a much higher price.
It's a perfect example of that. Like a few other tips that we'll have will be, and this is kind of an obvious one, just making a list. So before you go shopping the Black Friday sales, so rather than go in with the mindset, I'll just have a browse and I'll see what I find. Ideally, what you could do is just think about, okay, well, what do I need? Like, what am I looking for? and then just see, just go about looking for that particular product or products. Particularly when it comes to buying, devices. We know, like, people who are listening, know the technology is not that cheap. Looking at a new laptop or a smart TV can be quite expensive.
Yeah.
Another one that's probably the most important one is just about shopping online safely. There's an interesting / kind of worrying kind of figure. Shows in Ireland this year alone, we've had 1.1 million euro has been, unfortunately, people have lost that much money through online shopping frauds. So we definitely don't want this to happen to us. So we offers a few kind of recommendations here as to ways we can shop safely online this week. And this could include just very obvious things. This not entering your credit card details on any website that you don't trust, that you're not familiar with. A good thing to point out is that if you want to just check it out, to see the security and the safety of the website, there is a little padlock icon that you can check see if it's there, to see if it's deemed kind of secure or not. To find this, if we're using a screen reader, we can just go to the address bar, press Alt and D, and then we can Shift and Tab once to move to the padlock icon. And if one is there, of course, if it is there, we'll hear Use Site Information button menu, and then it'll say secure. So that's our way of knowing that the guide is secure. So, if we're in any doubts, a good website to try to test the site you're looking up is Trustpilot, and it'll tell you straight away whether it deemed it safe or not. So that's something to bear in mind. Another point, probably equally important, is to try and shop in good time to improve our chance of getting the items delivered before Christmas. And so as to improve the chances of this happening, what we can do is try shopping at websites in Ireland or the UK. Just a lot of people are ordering products online at the moment, and I was reading actually that on Post have seen an increase of 130% in the volume of packages being delivered this year compared to last. So we can expect, I say, some delays, but of course I think the chances of the items being delivered before Christmas will be much higher if we order from sites in Ireland or the UK as opposed to elsewhere.
Yeah,
and of course, a good thing as far as we're buying Irish too.
Yeah, exactly. I was just going to say as well, there's that drive kind of to support a little bit more local businesses this year in particular when they need it. And are the Irish retailers quite good with participation in the Black Friday sales? Can you get good deals?
I was browsing online this morning, different websites, and I found they're very good. Actually, they're very competitive.
Very good. Good to know as well.
Yeah.
So let's have a chat about some of the sort of more specific recommendations then. Any good recommendations that you found in the Black Friday sales this year? Can we come we'll come to Sean first.
Well, I've been looking at things now like power banks. For charging your phone on the go or charging your products. We all have, we've all got mobile phones these days with large enough batteries, and we can sometimes drain them when we're out on the go. I know we're all in lockdown, we're not really on the go at the moment, but hopefully when that's back to normal. But like with a power bank, I've been looking at the Anker PowerCore 13400. Now I was looking on the Littlewoods Ireland website, which doesn't currently have its Black Friday sale yet, but the same product on the UK site does. So I'm hoping that they will implement that sale over here soon. But the reason I'm looking at power banks is because, like I said, we all have AirPods, we all have other devices, and with this particular model, I know it was built for the Nintendo Switch. That's just a promotional gimmick. It's the fact that it has fast charging. So like phones now that can take a full charge within an hour from a wall outlet, this power bank will also let you do the same thing.
Very good. Yeah,
you get a full charge in the hour, and you like from the power bank. It might take about 4 hours to charge the power bank fully in itself, but then that'll get you 4 to 4.5 charges of your phone. It'll get you multiple charges of your AirPods. Like if you can have this in your backpack. You're going to work, you're going to college, or you're just traveling around, and so all of a sudden your AirPods go, or all of a sudden your phone is running low, and you think you might need it for a meeting or you might need it for something. Stick it in the fast charge section of this power bank, and before you know it, the phone will be near full. Brilliant. And the reason I was looking at the Irish website is because these are lithium-ion batteries. they don't always send them in the post internationally.
Okay, that's a useful thing to know. Okay, so they're kind of dangerous to send in the post, is that it?
Well, just like any like your phone has a lithium-ion battery, your laptop has a lithium-ion battery. They're well protected in the phones. They're all well protected in these cases too. It's just that the batteries are so large that they don't want them getting bumped or scratched or bent or anything that could happen in the post. We've all seen packages get, mangled in post, and it's just these batteries. They're dangerous. Like any battery is dangerous if it's not treated right.
So remind us, just price-wise, what were we looking at for that?
Well, currently that's about 70 to 80 euro, that power bank. Now it is a bit more expensive than other power banks because it does have fast charge, and it has an intelligent charge section where it will know the voltage and current of the device that's plugged into it and give it the exact current it needs.
Very good.
So it's very useful thing. You can charge your device safely. So the UK have already implemented their Black Friday sale on that, so that's about down to 30 sterling on the English version of the Littlewoods website. So I'm hoping now that on the Irish one now they'll implement that sale pretty soon also.
Yeah, very good. So that's a good discount and good tips about power banks as well there. Thanks for that, Sean. So maybe we can come over to Daniel now, and any particular items that you've seen, any recommendations you've seen in the sales this year?
Yeah, Jude, like Sean there, I've been looking around, but I just want to kind of add something a little bit to what JP was talking about there in, just tips and tricks. Particularly when buying online, is another thing to take into consideration is your shipping costs, and also, so sometimes if you're buying outside the country, obviously your currency exchange. Just to make sure with shipping costs, particularly, your eBays and places like that. Often you can find an item, for €10, but it costs €10 to ship it to Ireland, and another place could be €12, but €3 to ship it to Ireland. So just to watch out for that. It's a little bit of a tip there, particularly if you're going on the likes of eBay, I suppose. But getting back to laptops, and now I know back on the 26th of May, our live event 8, we had a good old chin wag over what to look out for in laptops. Well, I suppose it's traditionally the time of the year now, if you haven't got a laptop going back maybe to college or something, that you might look at getting a laptop for Christmas. And likewise with Black Friday, you're going to get a lot of offers out there. And just to bear in mind, back when we were discussing on our live event 8, about the solid state hard drives in these laptops, it is quite, it's nearly getting to the stage now where it's necessary to have it.
Yeah.
So you will find some places will be still shipping the laptops out with the old style hard drive. So just look out for those. Curry's had a deal on there on laptops. Now this one here under Black Tag sale event was going for $479. Now the only little drawback I had on it was a 14-inch screen, but she's well packed under the bonnet. You're getting an iCore 5 chip there, very quick. Getting 4 gig of RAM, which is reasonably good, and 256 gig solid state drive. So that is not a bad little purchase there. And again, your battery life up to 10 hours. So it's quite a nice little machine, maybe to look out for if you're going down to Curry's at some stage. They do have lots of other offers on there, but again, watch out for the storage space. I see some of the cheaper models, 64 gigs solid state drive, not necessarily great. You'd want to be probably going 120 at least, even just for standard browsing. So just to watch out for those things. Another thing came across as well, and we'll probably do a discussion on this further down the route, is the Google Nest Wi-Fi system, this Wi-Fi mesh. Basically, these the Nest Wi-Fi router, it plugs into your existing router, and it gives you better Wi-Fi coverage in the house, and you can add points as well. So maybe if I'm thinking of particular bigger houses or maybe older houses with the big thick walls and the Wi-Fi signal doesn't quite reach into the corner rooms of the house where you really want that Wi-Fi. So these little guys, you can pick them up. They're just on sale at the moment from Google Store. They have have the router on its own for 116, down from 156, and to do a set then down from 250 down to 205. So they might be worth investing in. They also include the Google Assistant on them, so to double up as your little speaker, your speaker, mini speaker as well. So to have that. And one final thing to add to them guys is they have a thing on it that you can have paused the internet on it. So thinking that the parents listening, the kids are not doing the homework, they're on the Wi-Fi, you just tell it to turn off the internet. And that might be a handy feature for some folks out there.
Quite useful.
It can be very hard to get them to drop the tablets and while the Wi-Fi is flowing.
Excellent, good stuff. A wide variety of different items in the Black Friday sales.
Yeah, they're just some of them I came across. There's tons of stuff out there I could go on all evening about.
Brilliant, and we'll have to have a chat about some of those items as well in a future live event. You mentioned the Google Mesh. Is that what they call it? The internet system? Yeah,
it is. It's an intelligent system, particularly where you're getting the two units. It'll switch your device over to which unit is the best one to be connected to automatically. So it'll hop for you. It'll hop the internet seamlessly for you.
Brilliant. Yeah, we'll have to talk about those on one of the future live events. Just an interesting thing I just noticed there on the Curry's website as well, which is quite useful considering one of the tips that JP mentioned is that when they mention the price at the moment, they also tell you the price that it was, but they also tell you the dates that it was that price. So if you're worried about somebody maybe having just boosted their prices for just before Black Friday, you can actually check on the Curry's website. So if it's been a stable price for a while and the price comes down, you can kind of have a bit more confidence in the sale price. So that's quite a useful thing as well. I wonder, can we just test this out a little bit with maybe just one?
With your credit card, Jude.
Say that again?
With your credit card.
Jude, can I give you my shopping list now?
Say that again. I'm very hard of hearing now today. I'm hearing a lot of things I don't like today. Very good. And was that Miriam coming back? Miriam, if you say you're going to interview me again.
Yeah, you just mentioned the word credit card and I'm going to go, oh. Jude, can I just say as well, just what Daniel said, to watch out for the postage and, the currency, because that can actually bump up the price back up again when you get as far as your checkout. Yeah. Also, Amazon.co.uk is different to Amazon.com. Amazon.com being the American one, and you would end up paying duty for anything coming in. Also, with Brexit on the horizon too in January, the banks are looking at adding an extra layer of security. Now, again, because of Brexit, people might want to buy before January as well. So might be something to consider, if they need something on the Black Friday sale, it might be something to consider too, not to wait.
Yeah, very good. Some good tips there as well. Excellent. So just time to maybe try this out with one particular sale item. And this is more for just giving a little bit of an idea of an approach to the Black Friday sale. So I'm going to pick a set of headphones here that I've noticed on one website. And if I read it out, maybe you can give us, maybe someone on the panel can just give us your approach. If you were looking at this for the first time, now you may know these set of headphones, you might know how good they are, or you might not. How would you approach this if you were to see this deal and you were looking out for a set of headphones? So this is a pair of Sony in-ear truly wireless headphones with extra bass, and it's got the model number here, and it's saying it was €159.99 and it's down to €79.99. Now, does that, just from what you hear, is that something that you would jump on straight away, or what sort of checks, what would you check out before you proceeded with that?
I always review products over and over again, read reviews on them, read previous reviews, check out other websites to see if the product's actually, rated first to kind of garner my own interest. And then, like I said, I'll check prices on other websites then also currently, and even in sales, to see is the website offering the best price for that.
Yeah.
But the main thing I would do personally is read 10, 15 reviews, from as much websites as I can about people's user experience with it.
Yeah.
But as we often find, people only write reviews when they have a bad experience. Like no one rushes out to write a review when something's brilliant because you expect it to work.
Yes, yeah.
So you kind of have to weigh all that up when you're reading reviews online. But that is what I would do, just to see, like, if it's, you know, if you're reading about like the Google Buds or the AirPod Pro, like they're so well advertised and reviewed all over the place, you kind of have an idea of how they should work and how they should act. So whenever there's a pair of, you know, like Buds or technology or phones that are just not so well known, that's like I'd have to do a little bit of research personally.
Yeah, perfect. So that's probably a key bit of advice, is make sure of the product itself as well, because even in those cases where they're actually a very good discount, and maybe they were hugely more expensive before, not just talking about this set of headphones, of course, but just in general, maybe whatever the device is wasn't actually worth that amount in the first place, and maybe the sale price that's there at the moment is more in keeping with what it's worth and what we'd be willing to pay. So just balance out what you actually want, what you would expect to pay, what you're happy to pay, and is the device actually good enough. So hopefully those reminders and tips about the Black Friday sales will be helpful to you. One or two guiding points there for specific sales as well. If there's any questions that you have, obviously it's going to be related to this week particularly, but you can still get support through the labs team at labs@ncbi.ie. And of course, in more general terms, you can get in touch with us for any sort of tech help that you need as well there. And if there's any subjects that you'd like covered as well, you can let us know